Hello and welcome to MSE 402 Project Management. My name is Dale Deerdorf. I'm your facilitator, instructor, and coach for all of the sessions in your project management course. What I wanted to do is I wanted to walk you through an alternate assignment that we've created for you called a project planner. The project planner is meant to substitute the use of a software package to create a Gantt chart. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the opportunity to create what we refer to as a manual Gantt chart. It's called a project planner. It's going to be taking information from Excel that you used when you created your Excel WBS format, and it's going to be translating it over into this template. Now, the document that I'm walking you through right now are the instructions. The instructions will be attached to the announcement and the video that has this information in it. But the project planner template, which I'll pull up in a minute here, has a variety of cells and different information. It is a fill-in-the-blank method for creating a baseline view of your project. It is a snapshot in time. It's only as smart as the moment that you create it. A week later, it will not be accurate. So you have to remember this is just your best guess at the information you have in front of you at the point in time that you create this. Now, the first thing we're going to have you do is take the Project Planner tab, and that tab, that location, you would click on it, and when you do that, you notice that a yellow highlight box pulls up. As that yellow highlight box pulls up, across any of the activity tabs, anything that you put information in, it's going to give you I'll call it a cheat sheet of information that we're requiring in that location. So this is asking you for the title of the project. So you would put your team name, the team project that you're working on in this location, and what that does is it translates that information in there. You would save this template down. It's an Excel spreadsheet. And you will customize it. You will hand it from person to person on the team to have it worked on. You can't have multiple people working on it at the same time and then suddenly hit tabulate and it calculates all that together. This is nothing more than an Excel spreadsheet. And it has different areas in it that you're going to be filling in. Now, the activity tab is going to represent the information that you're pulling or decomposing out of your WBS structure. All of the activities that you identify over there, whether they're tasks, subtasks, or milestones, is going to get loaded in here as a specific activity. So you can see here that as I clicked up on top, it gives you information on where the activities will get loaded. The first activity that is lined up is called Activity 01. Do not get rid of Activity 01. Go in and edit and add your task or subtask name to that, but keep Activity 1 or Activity 01 there so you know where you're at. The manual WBS template that we've provided for you in the previous assignment, the first part of this, actually gives you all the information you need to put up into there. So feasibility study is one of what we refer to as the major activities. It's going to have a period that it will cover, and all of the tasks and subtasks that you list here will go in as activities in the other spreadsheet. So you would have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major headers, major elements that level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, in addition to any others that you create when you're doing the manual WBS. You may determine that there are other major activities that need to be covered. Whatever the structure of this is, you're going to translate it over into your project planner. It's going to be emulating exactly the logic of the WBS structure. Now, I've also given you information on, exactly what is an activity and the location of the activity tab, the plan start tab, the plan duration tab, and I'll walk you through these specifically on the spreadsheet in a minute, but I just want to walk you through the data information areas. Actual start tab, actual duration tab, finally the percent complete tab, and the periods tab. Now those are the elements that you need to fill out to give yourself the logic associated with your project. Now in addition to that, The second part of this assignment for a Gantt chart is the graphical representation of what it looks like in that Gantt chart view. The way we're going to create that portion of it is with a series of shading legends. So you'll see that I've identified for you up here 5 different shading legends. They're going to be over in the Excel template in the styles window, and I'll show you that, like I said, in a second here. But there's 5 different things that you will actually identify over on the other side. The plan duration shading, the actual start shading, the percent complete shading. For percent complete, as I've identified for you here, if you've started an activity at the point that you put this together, you get at least 25%. You get 50% if you're halfway complete, 75% if you're more than halfway but not 100% complete, and you get 100% when you have completed a task. And remember, this purple cell is only a, for the percent complete, it's only an on and off representation. It will not graphically tell you if you're 33 1/3% for that tab. It is just a graphical representation. There's 2 additional ones: actual beyond plan shading and percent complete beyond plan shading. Now, those are the elements that are covered in the document that I was giving you. Now what I want to do is I want to actually bring over the spreadsheet and walk you through the spreadsheet. Okay. So the first thing you'll be able to see is that project planner title. And as I said, if you click in there, you'll be able to take that project planner and you can go up here and you can change it to be anything you want. It can be Team 1, ECS project, hydrodynamic power generation. And that gives you the ability to create that as your title. That's ultimately all you're doing, is creating that structure. Okay? So that goes in there. All of those other elements that I was talking to you about are located along the top here. So here's the tab for activity, and you can see that all of your activities are lined up here. All of those activities are going to be translated from that WBS structure over here. So in that first one under feasibility study, activity 1 could be feasibility study, but you may have subtasks below that also. So the hierarchy or the structure is going to be up to you to create. There's a plan start, and it's based upon the periods. You can make the period as long as you want. You can say that period 1 theoretically runs between this time frame and that time frame, and it's 3 months long. That's fine. You can say that each plan, period is 1 week long. It can be 1 month long. It can be whatever logic you want to put in there. So you're going to put theoretically a plan start, which would be element number 1. Period number 1 is going to be starting. Then theoretically, the next period would be period 2, period 3. It could be period 4. You can go all the way down that way. The plan duration for the first element. How many plan duration periods is it going to take? I've got 1 listed in here, and you can actually start it on number 1, and the actual duration could be number 2. And if you did that, and if your percent complete that you fill in is only 75% complete, then you can see that you have actually gone beyond the plan. So this actual indication up here, the graphical indication of being beyond plan, is what this element shows you right here, what I've highlighted. The first piece of it was the percent complete. So period 1 you completed, but you overran it. So you can see that you can lay out a graphical logic for all of the elements within your project. This is going to be a, I don't want to use the word that it isn't valuable, but it is a snapshot in time, and it's only as good as the information you put in it, and it is meant to only emulate a snapshot for you from a from a Gantt chart perspective. Now, one of the things that I will ask you to do at another point in time is I will ask you to come back and add some columns in here. So you've got column, you've got actual duration. You could come back and add additional columns in here, and those columns could be associated with resources as far as number of hours it takes to complete one of these activities. And then another one will be the cost. So I'm anticipating that you're going to see a manipulation of this. You can still keep this logic, but you could insert another row in here, and rather than plan start, you could put hours, and you could create another one. Let's insert another one. Okay, and this one's going to be, let me jump back here and undo what I just did. So you've got hours. We want to add another column. So you've got hours. Now we're going to put cost in. So here we're going to put in cost, and we can crank these down to where they're not huge and that they fit within that format. You now can put in the number of hours that it costs to do that task. This could be 200 hours. This could be 5 hours. This could be 10 hours. It doesn't matter. Now, the next thing is cost. You're going to have to estimate a cost for that activity to get completed. So you could come back and you could tell me that those 200 hours, okay, at an hourly rate, cost-wise, could be 20 bucks an hour. What would that be? You can create a formula for yourself. So maybe this is $4,000. Maybe that's what we create for that particular cell, and you can give yourself a running cost. One of the things when we get into the earned value assignment, I'm going to be asking you is how many hours did it take for you to create your baseline, and what was your baseline cost? In addition to that, there will be some earned value questions, but I will ask you for this calculation: how many hours and what was the total cost of the project associated with it if you're using this manual project. Okay, so the manual project, once again, is meant to kind of supersede using one of the other electronic software packages. This is meant to give you the opportunity to create this in a manual format. Okay, once again, you'll be using MSE 402 Gantt chart template. Okay, that'll be made available to you. It will be a blank template. You can fill it out any way you want. Ultimately, you will create a manual Gantt chart that runs all the way across with the logic that you know at that point in time that you created. Okay? My name is Dale Deardorff. If you run into any problems with this, feel free to contact me offline. Enjoy yourself. Have a great week. Bye-bye.